I'm standing right in the middle of an installation, which is very, very interesting, and it's at the India Habitat Center, ongoing at an art fair. It's by artist, photographer Rohit Chawla, and this installation that if you can spot a bit behind me is about banned books and their book covers. So this is a reimagination of some of the covers of books which now may be classics, but at one point of time they had been banned. From the graphic novel Persepolis, the Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie, a lot of these books span the wall in this black room. And there are tape around the installation that says banned, like you have like in a crime scene where police put on tape to show that it's a crime scene. Chawla's interpretation, what the audiences have to say, let me take you through all of that.
So this is a very interesting installation which is based on banned books. All over the world, a certain set of books are banned for different sets of reasons. It could be politics, it could be religion, it could be any other aspect of our social life. And this installation is trying to highlight why we should not be banning books. So for narrow-mindedness or petty issues, because books are knowledge and knowledge should be spread, and it's also linked to the freedom of speech concept. So therefore the whole installation is trying to highlight the issues related with banned books.
For somebody like me, I've done about 400 covers for most of the mainline magazines in India. I mean the important political ones. I prefer not to do the ones which are glossies. And having done so many covers, I felt that one of the few things that I enjoy doing is doing covers, and I've done a lot of book covers too. So the idea of the banned books was lying dormant in my head for a very long time, and I just felt this was the right political climate to do a project on ban. So fortunately I got the space, and here it is, some of the work, the books that I grew up on, or the books that really left a big impression on me, including some of the ones which shouldn't have left a big impression on me, like let's say something like the Tropic of Cancer. I used to sleep with it under my pillow when I was a teenager in my growing years. But then books like Persepolis, which I felt is one of the most banned books in recent times. And last year I had done a project on the politics of hair, and I used that particular image for the cover of Persepolis, which I thought worked very well. Particularly since it was a graphic book, I thought a photography cover would be a bit of a twist. I think there's this huge amount of self-censorship that all creative artists have become prey to in these times. And I think it's also to do with the wokeism that exists in the country now, and everybody is extremely intolerant to opinions which don't match with theirs. So I thought it's a good time to look at from the public memory point of view on books that were banned, and in a way also subtly focus attention on some of the issues that all of us in the media are grappling with today. I think Salman Rushdie in a way was the most vilified author in recent times because of his book Satanic Verses. In fact, if there is a poster boy of banned books, it would be Salman Rushdie. So for me, when I was recreating the cover and thinking of a particular image that I would put on the book, I felt I took my own portrait of Salman Rushdie, which I had done some years ago, and the fact that his eye was injured and he wears an eye patch became the perfect graphic medium for me to do a cover. So I think that's one of my favorite covers, besides Persepolis, obviously, because I was completely moved by the case of Mahsa Amini in Iran, and I used that particular image to do a cover for a graphic book.
On a weekend that had multiple art events happening in the city, Chawla's installation brought to light questions of self-censorship as much as the idea of banned books, and fused the world of visual and words together.
Because it reminds us that these authors have pushed the boundaries of what we think of as a conventional society, and then they get later accepted because of their more forthright commentary on our society, whether it's in the area of sexuality or the liberality of religion, or even just our political understanding of what's happening in society. So I think banning books is not quite my way of looking at how we should be treating literature. But we should be accepting our sort of wider approach to different people's understanding of how they see reality and how they see our society. So thank you for doing this and reminding us that we need to be more open-minded as a society and as a people. Thank you.
I love the way they've been put up.
Do you have a favorite? Just wanted to know that.
Well, the favorites, I like 1984 and Color Purple. Then Satanic Verses is very nice, and Catcher in the Rye. All Quiet on the Western Front, and The Good Earth. The Good Earth had really moved me. It had brought me down to tears when I read it. So it's just such a it's really throwback into the times when what these books did to me. So it's such a fantastic collection of books here. I think that plus the way it's been installed and photographed and the comments he's written about it just makes it a lovely experience.
For Chawla, this is also a chance to point people towards more creative book covers.
I'm primarily a photographer and a visual artist.
Right.
So for me, creating an image which is some way distills the essence of a novel is an important. It's a creative exercise for me. Like I do covers for magazines which are supposed to pull people in. I mean, like for India Today, 150 covers of XYZ. I think it's a very, very important, rather than create some meaningless visual, to create a visual which has a certain context and a reason which would pull people into a certain direction, like a book, is the reason why I did it. And I'll tell you, in the Indian context, I'm so sorry to say this, an author works for so many years in writing a book, and some of the covers that are done by the big publishing houses in India are done with very poor budgets. The Indian publishing houses don't spend a lot of money on book covers or creating art for the book covers. So this is also a wake-up call in my way to get them to approach the book cover a little more creatively. And today there are so many options of doing that. So one of the things is I hopefully want to start a company which does book covers for all these publishing companies.
When you think of art, you probably don't think of books. For a lot of us, books don't necessarily equate art, even though words, as Chawla pointed out, are an integral part of how he looks at art. And of course, there's true for a lot of people who walked in and we saw how people reacted when they saw some of these books are their favorites, some of these books they have grown up reading, some of these books are probably still not available. But what does it mean in the era of internet? What does it mean to have these kind of books banned? Why does it continue? And what do we think of banning now? So if you want to continue to watch videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. This is Tina Das reporting for ThePrint.